and welcome to Anime-chan. Today we are starting volume number 25 of One Piece. It's this one, and the volume's name is The 100 Million Berry Man. We will be reading 5 chapters. I don't show the pages, so you'll have to read along with your own manga or using the Shonen Jump app. I have the manga and also the app. The app is really nice. I read Dr. Stone on there. And I might be reading some other stuff eventually too. That was a great review. Can you read the manga like that? Oh, a great view. No. If you could see my shoes while I was standing, I would totally dress cuter in videos and do standing reviews. That would be so cool. But you can't see my shoes. No, I'm not going to show them in this video. If you guys want to see fun things like my shoes and me sometimes almost tripping on them being tied together, definitely join us live. In the live chat today, we have Matty, Dark Shadow, Elizabeth, Shawnee D, Don Trellis here, Juno, Frankie Sperry, welcome. I think this is the first time I see your name here. Yvette is here, Savage Panda, Link to Fire, Black Blade, Tiago, did I say Shawnee D? I want an Amazon Audible for One Piece by Katie. Read it doing a handstand and I'll give you $12. I would break my neck. Adam is also here. Okay, so as usual, we're starting on the first page. Shocking, I know. But no, I'm kidding. I want to read this part first because this was never on the Shonen Jump app that I started reading on. So this is really entertaining to me. It's a note by Oda written in 2002. The cover illustration for chapter 233 is framed in black in memory of my fellow manga artist Geenge. Someone once said that manga artists live on in their characters after they die. We are blessed to be in this profession. Aw, that's so beautiful and so true. Geenge. Does anyone know which which manga he wrote, drew, created? And the first chapter that we will be reading is chapter 227 called Noland the Liar. Before we continue though, I need to decide whether I want to call him Noland or Norland. What do you guys call him? Matty enabled subscribers only mode. Oh yeah. Sorry for those of you that are here live but you aren't subs. It's just spoiler prevention because people be spoiling. Norland, and Shawnee says Noland. Elizabeth and Juno says it's Norland, but Shawnee says it's Noland, and Matty says New Orleans. No land. Okay, I don't know. It's gonna be difficult because it's typed Noland, but I want to say Norland. Maybe I should just say whatever I want, whatever I feel like saying when the time comes. Anyway, so the chapter is called Noland the Liar, and the cover story is Hachi's Walk on the Seafloor, volume 39. The catfish village repays their debt. So they build them a little takoyaki ship. That's so cute. The Kami here looks a little bit like a young Nami, but it's only because of you can't see the colors. Start time is 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's start reading. Geez, that darned orangutan. He almost wrecked the ship. Yeah, it really is in bad shape. Maybe it's time we got a new one. How can you say that? Don't worry, Usopp. The Merry Go is part of the crew. She'll be as good as new once we fixed her up. You got a big heart, Luffy. Oops. He smashed through the side. Hey! The eastern coast of Jaya, Mocktown. This is the place on the map. This is where we'll find... what was his name? Mont Blanc Cricket. The man who talks of big dreams lives here. Wow! That's his house? He must be loaded. Look more closely, fool. A man of big dreams, eh? Well, he certainly likes to create an illusion. Illusion? Sorry, Chopper does that, so I want to do it too. Illusion? Imagine that on the thumbnail. Hey, it's only plywood. What? There's only half a house. The rest is fake. What a cheapskate. What kind of... Ooh, half a house. Interesting. Sorry. Obviously, you guys know that I'm way ahead in the anime. So now, knowing what I know and seeing stuff like this, it makes me feel like, ooh. What kind of dreams was he talking about that they kicked him out of town for? I don't know all the details, but apparently he claims there's a huge hoard of gold somewhere on Jaya. Gold? Is it a lost pirate treasure? I'm not sure. Dig, Chopper! Find the gold! Huh? I should dig? He lives alone in this remote area, huh? Hello? Anyone home? What are you doing, Luffy? Huh? There's nobody here. Hello? Hey, hold on. What if he's dangerous? Hey, he's not here. Chopper digging in the background using his antlers. Shame, poor baby. A storybook. It looks really old. Noland the Liar. Ha, ha, ha. That's a catchy title. I like the theme. Noland the Liar. That brings back memories. I read it as a kid. You've read this, Sanji? But it says it was published in the North Blue. Yeah, I was born in the North Blue. Didn't I mention that? Ooh, so this is the first time we find out that Sanji was born in North Blue. This is the first time Sanji mentions that he was born in North Blue. This is the first I've heard of it, I thought. I thought you were from the East, too. Chopper, be quiet. What are you doing? Yeah, I was raised in the East. Well, never mind that. This story is pretty famous in the North. It's a children's tale, but I've heard that this Noland really did exist a long time ago. This is a tale from long ago, more than 400 years ago, in a land in the North Sea. There lived a man named Mont Blanc Noland. Noland was an explorer, but his stories of adventure were so amazing that nobody believed them. The villagers didn't know whether they were true or just made up. One day, Noland returned from his travels and reported to the king. I found a mountain of gold on an island in the vast sea. The brave king took 2,000 soldiers and went with Noland to verify his claim. They set sail upon the great ocean. They were buffeted by tempests and attacked by sea monsters. By the time they reached the island, only the king, Noland, and 100 soldiers remained. But instead of finding a mountain of gold, there was only jungle. Noland was sentenced to death for lying. Before he died, his last words were, I know! The mountain of gold must have sunk into the sea. The king and the others were flabbergasted. No one believed Noland anymore, but he stuck to his lies to the very end. Noland the Liar, a North Sea folktale. That's actually really sad because, well, reading this again now is really sad because we saw Noland's backstory, like that was a 4-episode flashback kind of thing, and that is probably one of my favorite moments of One Piece. And Noland is I think right now listed as my favorite supporting character. He's not really a supporting character to the main cast, but he's not a main character in the whole story. So I think it would still classify as a supporting character. But he's probably my favorite supporting character. So to know now, reading this, that actually happened and how it ended for him, it's very sad. Sorry, my fringe is too long, but I don't want to cut it, but I also don't want to put it to the side. Mocktown, Jaya. I think this is Bellamy laughing. Ha 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 ha. Mont Blanc cricket is a descendant of Mont Blanc Noland. I heard that tale a lot as a kid. Everybody in the North Blue knows the story of Noland the liar. And we're all from the North. I said that wrong. The grown-ups always said that if I told a lie, I'd end up like Noland. I wonder if that's relevant. I'm going to write it down too. Bellamy and his crew is also from North Blue. Panda Man is in the crowd? Where? Oh, there he is. Damn, you're also good at spotting him in crowds. I think from now on, whenever I see a crowd, I'm going to see if Panda Man's there. Ha ha ha. This is getting more and more interesting. And the story took place on Jaya. Imagine that. And now a descendant of Noland the liar is searching for gold on this island 400 years later. All to redeem an ancestor who was branded a liar and died a laughingstock. Everyone laughs. What a hilarious family. He thinks if he can find a few specks of gold dust, it'll erase 400 years of humiliation. Ha 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 ha. Now that's familial devotion. I think in many ways I can definitely relate to Mont Blanc cricket, because he wants to erase the bad legacy, and in the same way, that's why I can't for a similar reason, I don't like when people comment things that aren't true about my reactions, because as I explained earlier, and I'll explain it again now because this will be posted to YouTube, it really bothers me when people comment things that aren't true about my reactions, or like saying I said something that I didn't say, because the majority of people don't take the time to listen to my reviews, but it's easy to read like the top 5 comments. So if one of the top 5 comments says, oh, you hate this character, but I never said hate, that's just an easy example, a small one. If I never said hate, and in the review I went into detail trying to explain why maybe I don't agree with their actions and stuff like that. Like with Nami's, back when we got introduced to Nami, a lot of people talked about, me hating her, and I never said I hated her. But the more people kept pushing that narrative, it frustrated me, and that actually made me feel more negative towards her. But the reason why it bothered me was because I don't want people thinking that about me, because I never said that. But like I said, it's easier to read one line lying about my reaction than listening to my review where I go into detail about it. So that's why I often if a comment is saying something blatantly untrue, and if I try to talk to the person, even sometimes, to be 100% honest with you guys, sometimes I don't even bother trying to set them straight or explain to them why that's not true, because a lot of people just read the top comment and like it, and they don't check the replies. So then that lie gets read by 100 people, and I feel like, but that's not true. I never said that. And so sometimes I just, if it's something that's really bad that I feel like that's just an unfair thing to say, then I delete it, because I also don't want my Well, that doesn't really have anything to do with a legacy, but I just mean I can kind of relate to how Cricket felt. Mont Blanc, let's call him that. Sadly, the liar died. And then Nami looks at Usopp. Without ever becoming a brave warrior of the sea. Why are you looking at me when you say that? And stop adding your own commentary. And then Luffy falls into the water somehow. Huh? Luffy fell in the ocean. What are you doing? Splash. Who are you? You've got guts making yourself at home on somebody else's property. Usopp, save Luffy. The waters around here belong to me. He has a cigarette in his mouth. He just came out of the water. Mont Blanc Cricket, last boss. The Monkey Mountain Allied Force. You're after the gold, aren't you? Then die. Whoa! Whoosh! Swish! Wham! And he lands a hit on Sanji. Or does he? Oh, it looks like he does, but he blocked with his shin. Huh? Boom! Damn, he almost shot him. Whew. Dude, way to jump to conclusions. Ah! Sanji! I'm alright. He missed. But, wait! Fool, you underestimated him. Boom, boom. Oh, sorry, I read the boom, boom late. He shot twice. Zoro runs. Huh? Clunk. What were you thinking? I saw bubbles in the water. Then a chestnut came up out of the water. But the chestnut turned out to be a guy. And he pulled me into the water. Oh. Huh? Hey, you okay, mister? Get me a cold towel and open all the windows. The bends? He's sick? It's a condition divers sometimes get. It's usually not chronic though. When a diver comes up out of deep water too quickly, the sudden decompression causes air bubbles to form in the blood and tissues. These bubbles expand and cause problems in the vascular system, muscles, and joints. Ah, must be a myth. It says here an unnatural phenomenon, but like, I'm pretty sure Luffy said a mystery illness. It's a lollipop, not a cigarette, Katie. Oh yeah, I can see him coming out of the water with a lollipop. It's more believable than a cigarette. But maybe he was like, he pulled Luffy in, picked up his cigarette that was lying there, quickly lit it and, what are you doing here, bitches? Why do I always add bitches to things? I shouldn't do that. It's annoying. This man's probably been diving deep day after day without giving his body time to decompress. But why? I don't know, but it's very dangerous. In some cases, the bends can be fatal. Mashira brothers. Oh, that was a quick chapter. SBS time. Reader, boys and girls, gather round. Who will start the question corner today? All right, you, little Ichiro. Huh? What? Everyone wants to say it? All right, gotcha. Then let's all say it together. Ready? Let's start the question corner. Okay, this is fair. Oda, let's start the question. Hey, I flubbed. And it was my big chance. Question. Hello, Oda Sensei. In volume 18 on page 28, is the sea cat wearing an earring in its left ear? Why is that? Tell me. That's just ear hair. Okay, everyone try saying it 3 times as fast as you can. Ear hair, ear hair, ear hair, ear hair. Hard, huh? Ear hair, ear hair, ear hair, ear hair. How do you say ear hair in Japanese? English to Japanese. Ear hair. Dimo. Jimo. Jimo, 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 Jimo. Like Sanji putting his shoes back on in Arlong Park. It's funny. Okay, chapter 228. Mont Blanc Cricket, the last boss of the Monkey Mountain Allied Force. Mont Blanc Cricket, the last boss of the Monkey Mountain Allied Force. Is that what yours says? That is a hell of a title. The cover story, Hachi's Walk on the Seafloor, final volume, grand opening, Takoyaki 8, an octopus, Takoyaki Hachi. Hachi means 8, right? I think. Takoyaki Hachi, an octopus fritter shop on the high seas. I want to taste takoyaki. Hanku and I worked out today how much it would cost for both of us to go to Japan. If we want to, because I just thought about, I want to try takoyaki, and then I thought about us talking about it. Rand to dollar. So to fly there, a return trip for 2 people would be $2,424. And then, apparently it would, I don't know, you'd need like $120 a day for accommodation and food, and we'd probably want to go for at least a week, and I don't want to be away from the cats for longer than that, to be honest. And then you need a little bit of spending money, so we worked out it would be like almost $5,000, like $4,800 for the 2 of us. I priced out a trip to Japan for just one. A 2-week trip would run me about $15,000 for what you'd want to do. For me and Hanku both, I think we worked out, let's say $5,000 for the 2 of us. But that would include spending money and living at hostels, like backpackers. So maybe you were budgeting for real, to be honest, it would probably work out a little bit more for me because, or I would want to try 1 or 2 nights at like a Pokemon hotel or something. That shit sounds cool. But I think it would be expensive. What seems suspect? That's no tours, no nice hotels, budget-based food. If I'm going to Japan, I'm going once and I go all out. How did, no tours, no nice hotels? How did you get to that? How did you get to that number? Jeez. Blackblade wants to see everything. It's for your trip, not mine. Oh, you mean for my trip? Oh, if I wanted to go based on $5,000, it's no tours, no hotels, budget-based food. And if you want to go, you'd want to go all out. That's true. That is true. But today we just talked about it briefly, like if we wanted to go and see the places. And to me, I don't really need to go all out. I just want to experience the culture, meet some people, try some food. So yeah, it probably, that's why I said about the most basic is 5,000, but you never go, you always budget more. Like if your basic budget is 5,000 for anything, always more, always. Because things are gonna go wrong and you're gonna lose shit. You always need more, but that's like the basic, like the bare bones of the trip. I don't go to Costa Rica to eat ham sandwiches in a hotel room. I want fresh ceviche and seafood. That is true, definitely. I want to see the area Steins Gate is based on. You mean Akihabara? I want to go to like a shrine, and I want to see like I don't know, I want to see stuff. But I want to meet people. So I need to learn Japanese. And I need to do it next year because I want boobs in the next 2 years. And I don't want boobs before I go to Japan. Do I? What should I do first? Sorry, guys. Anyway, let's continue reading. Chapter 228, start time. Hey, did I already start reading? Oh, no, I didn't. This is the first page. Start time is 25 minutes and 40 seconds. Hello, Angus. When did you come? Well, if it isn't Mashira, you're still alive, eh? Of course. What are you talking about? Oh, never mind. But what were those gunshots just now? I hope the boss is okay. Let's hurry. I'm worried. Boss, are you all right? Da doom. Yeah, look at Zoro's angry face. Oh, look at Chopper. Oh, Chopper. Girl. Ah, they've come to kill us. Eek. What are you doing here? What have you done to the boss? We're giving this man medical treatment, so go away. Idiot, they won't listen to reason. They're savages. Come on, let's escape out the window. That's so nice of you. They listen to reason. That's hilarious. Oh, this year I was going to go to Japan for work, but the coronavirus. Oh, maybe you can still go after everything's quietened down and went back to normal. Maybe your work will still send you. How are you doing, Angus? We haven't seen you in a while. So, you guys live here too? Well, the boss's house is the headquarters of the Monkey Mountain Allied Force. Allied. But we usually sleep on our own ships. After all, this house is kind of small for us. Ho, 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 ho. Okiki. You guys are just too big, but then maybe to a giant, you're tiny. How come they're getting along so well? They all have monkey brains. But how did a little guy like you manage to beat this big lug? Oh, it was easy. You could do it. Huh? Really? Sure. Luffy, he's coming too. Hey, you're right. He went flying. He kicked his brother. That's hilarious. Great. Hey, Diamond Head guy. We want to ask you something. Sorry I attacked you guys. I thought you were after my gold. He looks Irish for some reason. Does anyone else get an Irish feeling from his face and his sideburns? I finally moved now, so I'll probably be here more often. Yay! Clink, clink. What? You have gold? Don't even think about it. What is it you want to ask me? We want to go to the island in the sky. How do we get there? A sky island? Ah. It says har. You guys believe that story? Nami, don't! He's still recovering. You mean it doesn't exist? Well, there was one man who said it did, but he went down in history as a liar, and his descendants have been the objects of ridicule ever since. And then Luffy stares at Usopp, and Usopp's like, it's not me! Noland the liar. It's an ancient tale. It's not me. Our names were different. You're his descendant? And this is where it all took place? He was my great. Anyway, it's a silly story about a distant ancestor. I probably only have a drop of his blood in me. The Mont Blanc family was driven off and forced to live in shame. Even to this day, we're still ridiculed. But nobody in the family ever held it against him. Why not? Because we know that Noland was no liar. Huh? That's such a meaningful a meaningful panel. Do I call this a panel? This part, this one, is that called a panel? But it's so meaningful because of what we see later. We don't get just the story. We get the actual flashback of what happened. So seeing this is like, yeah. In the book, Noland's last words were, "I know, the mountain of gold must have sunk into the sea." It shows him grinning like an idiot, but he actually died with tears rolling down his cheeks. The island they reached was undoubtedly Jaya, the same island that he said held the ruins of the City of Gold. I don't believe he made it up. Noland theorized that the ancient ruins sank into the sea due to the shifting of the Earth's crust. Everyone thought it was said out of desperation, as his last effort to redeem himself. He was put to death as everyone laughed at him. Oh, my favorite supporting character. I love him so much. He's such a great character. So, in order to... Wait, actually, now that I think about it, Calgarda should be on very high on that list as well. I'm not sure where he's at, but he should be very high on that list because he has some of the best growth. But it's him and Noland, their story together. Where is Calgarda? Do I have him on my list? Mont Blanc, Noland, Gunful, Cobra, Whitebeard, Totoji-san, Smoker, Dalton, Shanks, Zeph, Mihawk, Ace, Chimney and Gombe, Kureha, Hiruluk, Iceberg. No, I'm gonna put, just like you, I have Chimney and Gombe. I'm gonna put Mont Blanc, Noland, and Calgarda because it's their story together that makes them so great, you know. Growth, you know, the thing Hammock doesn't have. Angus said it, not me. This time. Yeah, for some reason Calgarda isn't on my list, but he definitely should be. So in order to clear the Mont Blanc name, you've been diving down to the ocean floor in search of the City of Gold? Don't be ridiculous! Look at that face, that's hilarious! I love Usopp's face when he's frightened. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but... Come on, focus. Well, you get the idea. Usopp! So what if Noland was telling the truth? So what if he was a great explorer? None of that matters to me. Because that fool's blood flows in my veins. Total strangers made fun of me all throughout my childhood. Do you know what that's like? That's how I grew up. And that makes me think of the recent episode of One Piece where Whitebeard said that... Wait. I have it on my Instagram. I can reference it. That's why I posted it on Instagram, because I knew I was going to reference it a lot of times in the future. It's wrong to resent a child for the sins of his father. That's applicable here, you know. Like it's wrong to make fun of a child for what their ancestor did, like so far away. Over the last 400 years, in order to restore the family honor, countless Mont Blancs have gone to the sea and all of them disappeared without a trace. I was ashamed of my family, so I left home and became a pirate. So you're a pirate too. I didn't set out to be one, I just wanted to get away from Noland's curse. Then, 10 years ago, my ship happened to land on this island after an adventure. Ironically, as the one who hated the Mont Blanc family and Noland the most, I was the only one who landed here. But as I stood on that cliff overlooking the island, which, as the book said, showed no trace of a city of gold. I realized that fate had brought me here. There was no escaping it. Let's settle this once and for all, Noland. Are you crazy? Look, boss, this is a family matter. It's none of our business. If you want to stay here and look for gold, do it by yourself. This is where we part ways. It doesn't matter whether I find it or not. I'm not looking for the gold or to clear his name. This is my battle with the man who ruined my life. But before I die, I intend to set the record straight. What a man! But how come? Those monkey guys are here. There must be a moving tale about men who risk their lives in the ocean's depths behind it. They're just fans of the story. Fans? For real? 5 or 6 years ago, they heard about me and came here uninvited, convinced that Noland's gold was real. It is funny because Usopp was saying there must be a very moving reason for it. And like, meh, they're just fans of the story. Noland simps. Noland chimps, you mean? Children who have never known peace have different values from children who have never known war. One of my favorite One Piece quotes. That's a very interesting quote. Like, you can talk about that for a long time because it's very applicable to a lot of real life situations if you break it down to a more simplistic quote. But even taking it at face value, saying, like, people want peace, right? Our ancestors, like in my country, there were obviously bad people that did bad things, and even before that there were people of other cultures that did bad things to each other then. But somehow through all the lost history of 100, 200 years, people want, they fought for peace, they want and equality and blah blah blah, and so they worked so hard to get to this place, right? But now, when we have it, then we say the children who have peace or who know peace have different values. And then you sometimes look down on those people because you don't know suffering, you don't know what I've been through, but that's what you fought for. You fought for those people to have that safety and security, but often that safety and security turns people into very different people than you would like them to be. And why I say you can break it down into different and make it apply in different situations. For example, oftentimes very poor people, they want to have a family, and they work really hard so that their family doesn't have to ever struggle as much as they did. But then oftentimes that child grows up in abundance, and you spoil them because you don't want them to go through what you did, but then you end up turning your child into and that's why I think balance is so important. I'm not saying there should be equal amounts of war and equal amounts of peace. I'm just trying to say, like, conflict and resolving conflict in a good manner is just as valuable as, if not more valuable than, just forced peace. Because you can't force peace. There will always be conflict. It's actually a quote from my Twitter banner. I love that quote so much. I put it as my Twitter banner. It's from the Dalai Lama. I don't know, they're XIV. I don't know what number that is. Peace does not mean an absence of conflicts. Differences will always be there. Peace means solving these differences through peaceful means, through dialogue, education, knowledge, and humane ways. So yeah, these quotes are all very interesting, and I love that. Sorry, I'm just retweeting a tweet from Hanku that I just saw. Retweet. People want peace on their terms and will wage war on those that don't agree on those terms. Exactly. But oftentimes, the people that they wage war for peace, and then they get peace, and then their children grow up in peaceful times, and they disagree with their peace. They disagree with their peace, and then they're angry that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's this constant perpetual dissatisfaction. I don't know how you say that. Like, but I was talking to this with Hanku about this the other day. When we watch movies, we don't watch a movie. Who watches a movie where everything is okay the whole time? From the start to the end, the protagonist, everything works out for them. They have it easy, and we don't want to watch that. You know, we watch movies where there's conflict and a happy ending, or sometimes not even a happy ending. And that's entertaining. So maybe on a subconscious level, we also want conflict in our lives. We don't want things to always go our way, because that's not fun. Obviously, I'm not saying, on a subconscious level, we want war. Clearly, that is when things have gone too far. But what I mean is, naturally, things will not always go your way. And if we realize that we want that, and we instead of making things worse for ourselves by complaining how bad it is, and always just perpetuating that energy, that bad energy, if we realize that, this is an opportunity, this conflict is an opportunity to resolve this conflict and make my movie more interesting. And if you approach life in that way, I don't know, it might change a lot. But yeah, very interesting conversations. How do we get there? 5 or 6 years ago, they heard about me, Mont Blanc, and came here uninvited, convinced that Noland's gold was real. Soldier! How dare you kick me like that? Prepare to die! Ooh, are you trying to pick a fight, Mashira? Don't get me started. The sea around here is deep. When you're diving in the dark and cold water... Oh wait, I think this is Noland talking again. I mean, cricket. When you're diving in the dark and the cold water, the loneliness is intense. Day after day, I dived and searched all by myself. Then those two stumbled into my life. They became my self-appointed henchmen. To be honest, those fools saved me. Can you understand? Sure I can. The comrades can lift a man's sad heart. I mean, true comrades. I'm tired of monkey stories. Then don't listen or grit your teeth and bear it. Like I said, I want to go to the island in the sky. Such an impatient lad. Didn't I just tell you that the one who spoke of the island was Noland the liar? If you believe his tales, you'll become a laughingstock like me. He went to Sky Island too? Well, he didn't say he actually went. Sorry, I'm just going to read this because I think it's interesting. Blackblade says, it's a cycle. Weak society creates strong people. Strong people create a strong society. Strong society creates weak people. So, like, I get what you're saying. Like, poverty makes people want to be rich, but then if you're born into that richness, not always, but sometimes, that doesn't create the person that perpetuates that richness. So you could, or not appreciate it, and you become a gambler, or you lose it all. Like, it's kind of like, it can have that effect in society. Never mind. Ignore what I said. It doesn't make sense. It's just like if you, here's a good example, easier to understand. You were born and your parents were insanely strict and like almost verging on abusive. So then you become the opposite with your kids, and then they don't have any discipline and they run rampant, and you know what I'm saying? Opposite is a good word. Like extremes are just never good. A society that's just focused on being strong, or people that I think that the parents thing was the best I could come up with. You get what I'm saying? Like how opposites can sometimes create, or as extremes can sometimes create the opposite. I see that every single day on Twitter. Like, I don't even want to bring this up, to be honest. okay, I'll bring this up. Like, oftentimes, and I'm not going to go into depth on this too much because I know it's a sensitive topic, especially now. Oftentimes, extreme anti-racist people end up being very racist. Like a tweet that I saw of a girl that said, and this is real, I saw it but I didn't retweet it, so I can't go to it because I don't really want that kind of stuff on my feed. But she said, I hate white people. I love animals' lives more than I love white people lives. And then in the next sentence she says, POC, people of color, and animal lives are on the same level. Period. So what she's saying is, I get what she's saying. She values animal lives more than white people lives, and POC and animal lives. But if you take away, like, well, first of all, she's being racist. She's saying she hates all white people. That's racist. But then she's put animal lives and people of color as if, and that sounds in itself very racist, because didn't people a long time ago also say those people are like animals or what, you know? So oftentimes any extreme movement, any extreme view ends up being its worst enemy or creating what it's apparently against. Anyway, but I think the parents is the best example that I used, easiest to understand. I just think this society nowadays creates weak people. But you see that I get what you're saying. You're saying, let me read your quote. I just think this society nowadays creates weak people also. I don't think the young generation now, the TikTok ones, mind you, will create a strong society anytime soon. That's what I was trying to say. Like, it took a long time to get to this point where people all have, in the West at least, for the most part, people have equal rights, you know, and if they don't, if they're treated wrong, we know it's wrong. It's against the law. So it took such a long time to get to this point, and now, and we see it often, the TikTok generation, these kids are so privileged, they're so lucky, they don't even understand what suffering is, and now they're weak-minded, they're weak people, and it was the strongest generation that got us to this point where we're so privileged. We have, people in the West, they're so much more privileged than they realize, you know? And now these kids are raised by the people that got us here. And now we're so lucky. Sometimes we end up, and I mean, I feel like I was almost in that generation, but I'm just past it, luckily, the TikTok generation. I don't like saying that because I don't think all people that do TikTok is like that, but you get what I'm saying when I say that. But now they're raised by the strong people, and they have these weak minds because they're so lucky. And before it has to get really bad for them before the cycle will change again. It's like that wheel of fortune. It's always going round and round. Each generation, like, I don't know, it just feels like that. There's an anime, I won't say what, but it's the perfect example of this. I think actually I know of an anime or two that's also a good example of it. Anyway, so Mont Blanc says, well, he didn't say he actually went. Is that the log of Noland himself? That's right. Read this passage. Whoa, amazing. A log from 400 years ago. The Age of Cayenne, 1120, June 21. Clear skies, sailed from the lively town of Vira. Will follow the log post and sail straight east-northeast. Got hold of an unusual item from a merchant ship today. It's a one-man boat called the Waver, which one rides like a ski. This strange vessel can even sail on windless days by creating its own wind, but there's a knack to operating it that I have not yet been able to master. The crew are enjoying it now. How cool! I want one! Keep reading! Keep reading! The power to run this vessel is found only on Sky Islands. I have heard there are many things with special properties up there. Speaking of Sky Islands, a fellow explorer once showed me a living skyfish, which was amazing to behold. It is a land our ships have never visited, but as a sailor, I wish to someday visit the sea and the sky. Mont Blanc, Noland. History never repeats itself, but it often rhymes. I agree. History of one's country should never be forgotten. I agree. Isn't that what the Nazis did though? They started by the whole process of what led to how bad it was in that time with those people. They started erasing the history and changing the narrative, like propaganda and stuff. That's how it started. Small stuff like that. That people didn't like. It seemed, oh, it's fine. We can change that. We can forget about that. We can take that away. That was specifically around the Jewish members of society and history. But exactly what I'm saying. Erasing history, telling people to forget what happened, or changing the truth about what happened or whatever, it's always a bad thing. Say hello to cancel culture. That's from Black Blade. But anyway, history of one's country should never be forgotten, period. I hope you're well. I always seem to enter these streams when really interesting discussions are going on. Yeah. It's like, I feel like this part of my personality, the part that talks about these things and that wants to talk about these things, is the same part of my personality that gets worked up about other things. And that's why it's so frustrating when people tell me, like, don't get worked up about that, or I don't like this part of you, because then if I take that part away, it also takes this part of me away. But I like this part. A sea in the sky. That's just what Robin said. Yeah, and according to this, people didn't doubt the existence of a sky island 400 years ago. It really exists. Yes. Boss, are you okay? I'm fine. Tell me, do you like these people? Why do you ask? These pirates are determined to go to Sky Island. Sky Island? But there's only one way to get there. They'll be killed instantly, boss. That's why I'm asking. It'll be up to us to help them get there. Doom! That's a pretty cool thing. They're actually pretty cool characters. Even though they're so derpy. In ancient times, this happened pretty often when countries or empires waged wars against other countries. And isn't it true in One Piece? The 100 years of the blank period? Didn't it happen in One Piece too? The world government is hiding something as well about history. Anyway, this happened pretty often when countries or empires waged war against each other. After they defeated their enemies, they often completely annihilated everything related to its culture and assimilated everything they could, essentially erasing the country's /empire's history. Yeah, the Void Century. There you go. That's what it's called in One Piece. People want to forget history, but if future generations don't have references of the past, and they'll do the same at some point. Even now, in some places, it's happening. It's better know what is wrong and teach. Yeah, because the thing is, bad things that happen didn't happen overnight. Things led to it. And how do we learn about people? We take a look at our behaviors. what leads to certain mental illnesses and what leads to our health issues. It can have to do with a poor diet over a long period of time. So learning is your documents. You look at trends. And so you have to understand and remember history and what led to things so that you can be cautious of it repeating itself in different ways in the future. You know what I'm saying? So that is why you're right, Yvette. If they don't have a reference, people will do the same thing at some point. And the sad thing is that we do have references, and still it happens in a lot of places. Whoever wins a war defines the meaning of justice, as crazy as that sounds. Yes and no. I don't think it could happen really in our world because of, you know, how we're an international community now. We can see things. If something happens to me, I'm going to video it and I'm going to put it online. And other people that might have been there at the same scene will put it online, and we can look at it and we can see what's happening. So it's not if we win a war now, we tell people, oh, this is what happened in the war. We get to decide for ourselves. We can see everything that's going on pretty much, except in China. And yeah, some people can lie and some people can twist the facts, but at the end of the day, it's not that easy anymore to just say, oh, this is what happened and we were right and we won the war, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just don't think it's as easy anymore. Most people don't want to actively forget, they're just ignorant. Yep. That's the whole reason we study history, so we don't repeat the same issues again and again. Yeah, but the problem is, what sometimes for me, like, and this is relevant to my own situation where I'm from, people focus on one part of history. And for example, our most recent history is one side against another side. But if you take it a little bit further back, you see that at some point, both sides lived together pretty harmoniously, and the other, like, obviously, let's be blunt. I'm going to try and be blunt here. In South Africa, the country has a really bad reputation because of apartheid, where black people were seen as, like, it was like separated. Black people sit here, white people sit here, but it wasn't just separation, it was separation, you know. So one side was higher than the other side, and that's the most recent history that everyone remembers, and we've progressed a lot, obviously, from then. In the last 40 years, so we've come a long way. But before that, it's not like it just happened. When the people from the colonialists, when they came, and this is the part people forget, they settled and they traded for land and food. And Shaka Zulu, for example, was sick and he needed medicine, so colonialists, they took care of him and they helped him survive the illness that he had. And he gifted them a large portion of land for saving his life. So it didn't start out as a war, it didn't start out as it was, but then obviously two different cultures trying to coexist in a time where, you know, tribes, how did they obviously, there was infighting in the tribes too. Zulu culture, Xhosa culture, there were so many different black cultures in South Africa. They didn't get along either. They didn't have the same beliefs about gods, and how did they fight? You know, as anyone fights, if there's no laws and ways for us to get along, they'd kill each other. And that's how they took land and stuff. And that ended up happening as well with the colonialists. But the colonialists had guns and stuff.
So obviously it's easier for a person with a gun than a person with a spear to sometimes win a fight, obviously. So it and then it just spiraled and got bad from there. And there's so much history there. What I'm trying to say is, and I feel like the whole world just focuses on one part of our history, and that's why. Damn, here I'm going on a long ramble. It's just why when people talk to me often, they hear I'm from South Africa. I can't tell you guys how often people tell me I'm not allowed to have an opinion on something because I'm white. I think it's important to be proactive and seek to know more about other countries and perhaps share and motivate people to do so. Don't be arrogant for know more about the topic, so we have a better image of the history of the world. You will never have the final or complete one, and it will be different for everyone, but having a broader one will help you to understand better. Exactly. We'll never know everything, but we need to aim to learn as much as possible, and I feel like as long as and this comes back to One Piece, we don't judge children based on the sins of their father. As long as we try and work together, those two things, if we can do that, I feel like the world would be a much better place, but people don't always do that. Let me read you guys a question. Not a question, let me read you a DM. I'm not going to say who it's from. And I want to, you can tell me if you think it's, let me just find it. So I liked something on Twitter. This happens a lot. I liked something on Twitter that was from an account that I follow, and apparently someone didn't like that I liked a comment. I think it might have been something political. I'm not sure, or I don't want to mention it right now exactly what it was. I think I know what it was. But I don't want to get into a conversation because it is controversial right now. But I just liked a tweet, not a comment, a tweet. And so this person says, I've been following you on Twitter recently and noticed a retweet / like regarding this. And they say, I wouldn't expect a white girl to know what this situation is about. In fact, white girls like you will never face the level of discrimination that blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what I liked to get them. Anyway, it's very hypocritical to say / think / tweet stuff like that. And I didn't say it. I didn't think it. Well, I did think it because I liked the tweet. So I obviously agreed with the person, whatever they were saying. It's very hypocritical to say / think / tweet things that basically saying I can't say, think, or tweet something that he doesn't agree with. Would you feel the same way if blah, blah, blah? It's just funny to me that a white person who doesn't even live here thinks they have enough knowledge about our country that they feel they can talk about our issues. Once again, I didn't talk about anything. I liked a tweet, which I can tell you now, it was a tweet from a black person living in America saying their opinion on something that I agreed with. It was a black person. And they live in America, and I liked their tweet, and this is the response I get because they saw that I liked the tweet. And listen to the last part of their message. Also, if you have to share this or talk about it in your videos or whatever, I would like if you didn't use my name. I don't want your simps to bother me. And I told them they seem kind of, I replied to them, I'm sorry, but you seem kind of racist. The way they keep calling me white girl, white girl, white girl, as if being white means I can't. They literally are saying, you're white, so you're not allowed to have an opinion on this. Doesn't that seem a little bit racist to you? And they don't even know, in South Africa, actually, let me do South Africa population, races. Black South Africans at 76%, white South Africans at 9%. You're telling me that I don't understand being a minority. Is that what you're telling me? I'm not allowed to have an opinion because technically I'm a minority in my own country. Wouldn't you say that 9% is a minor percentage compared to 76%? But you're saying because I'm white, I'm not allowed to have opinions on these kinds of things. And I'm just like, these people, don't they realize, doesn't he realize that he's... Anyway, just to reiterate, or not reiterate, but underline whose tweet I liked, I can tell you exactly whose tweet it might have been, because the only political accounts that I follow on Twitter is Eric July, which is a black guy in America, and Anthony Brian Logan, which is a black guy in America, and the Hodge twins, who are two black guys in America. So I liked probably one of their tweets, and he didn't agree with it, and he sent me this message talking about, he mentioned 3 times why a white girl can't have an opinion on these things. And I didn't even have an opinion. I liked a tweet. You son of a bitch. Actually, that's insulting to your mother. You bitch. Whoever said that is probably being like this based on your geography, which is bullshit. Many Europeans look at Africa and ask why it's so chaotic, completely forgetting that it's mostly the colonialism by European countries that caused so many problems there. What? If this country wasn't colonized, don't you think there would still be like tribes and stuff? And do you not think it was chaotic then? Shaka Zulu only became a leader. He only became into power by killing his own brother. Tribes were murdering each other for land and cattle and then taking the woman. Shaka Zulu, when his mother died, he said, no one's allowed to have sex, and if you felt pregnant, you got killed because that proves you had sex. And he said a year after his mother died that you're not allowed to have sex. He was curious about, I'm sorry, but what? You think it's because of colonialism that we're chaotic? No, I'm sorry. We are a country full of various cultures, various religions. No one agrees on anything, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Indian. Everyone within those various races have different cultures, and we're all trying to coexist. And we're all hung up about issues from the past. You did that, you did that, you did that, and that's why we have issues. Not because you can't boil it all down to colonialism or one thing that happened in our past. It's weird to me. People are allowed to have opinions whether you agree with them or not. I don't care about your race or gender, anything like that. Judge people on their actions or lack thereof, not on looks or anything like that. Exactly. Anyway, I'm sorry that I digressed, but I'm not really sorry, because what I love most about One Piece is that it addresses these things. In every single arc, it addresses stuff like this. That is why Skypia is my favorite arc. Except for the first couple of episodes, but a lot of people don't count that as an arc. Arcs. Here. If you see here, Skypia is my favorite arc for exactly this reason, because it addresses these things. In Arabasta, it was about a civil war. So many Arlong Park was about racism. You know how humans were, or the we find out later the celestial dragons were racist towards mer people. What do you call them? Fishmen. And now fishmen ended up doing the same thing to people, to Nami's village, her island. And so this whole show so beautifully addresses these topics. So I don't actually apologize for talking about it, because I'm not talking about colonialism per se. It's more about how it was done. Well, I did talk about that a little bit earlier, but it started out not so bad. It started out as they came, they landed. Like I said, Shaka Zulu gave them land because they treated him with medicine that they didn't have access to. It was very fair trade at first. And they gave them stuff they didn't have. Shaka Zulu gave them land. It's just that whenever two different cultures try to coexist without clear set rules, then they're gonna fight. And in that time, they ended up at war. And who's gonna win? The people with the guns, the people with better weapons. And so yes, it ended up shit, but it didn't start out shit. You know what I'm saying? War always ends up shit. Doesn't matter who wins a war. War is fucked up and shitty. It's terrible. Shitty is an understatement. It's just, but before that, I wouldn't say, I don't know, I shouldn't talk too much, because I feel like some of what I say could be taken out of context, and then people are gonna make a real exposed video. For example, one thing that I want to, the reason why I don't like how you phrased that was, currently our, what do you call them? Government is insanely corrupt. And for their corruptions, for their actions, where they take money for their own personal gain, they have mansions, a mansion for each wife. They steal from the people, they steal the taxes and stuff, they use it to build mansions and get cars for themselves. And when they're called out on it, no, not called out, when they're caught out, they always blame apartheid. They blame apartheid, they blame a shitty thing that happened, a terrible thing that was ended. They blame their own actions, their own corruption now. They've had 40 years to make things better for their people, but they steal from them. They lie to them. And when they're caught out, they say, yeah, but apartheid. You can't do that. You can't. It's pointless. Yes, things are shitty because of that time, and a lot of shitty things is still alive and well because of that time. But they've had 40 years to at least try and make it better, at least fix it. And they have in many ways tried, BEE and whatnot. But they're stealing millions of dollars from people, lying to them and stuff. That's not apartheid. You can't blame everything on apartheid. You know how much better off we would have been if they actually did their job as government officials and took care of the people? A government is meant to serve the people, not take their money and become richer and richer themselves. And yet the people live in, honestly, the stuff you hear about Africa and how poor people are, it's worse in other parts of Africa. But in South Africa, there's a lot of poverty. So, Matty says, I've seen a news program about a road in London where each house is like £700,000 each, and every single one is secretly owned by South African politicians. I don't know. I don't even know about that. But anyway, government officials being corrupt. The world government in one piece. It's all related. We're not digressing. It's related. Oh, we're finished. Chapter 229 is next. Let's eat. Let's eat. Start time is 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 40 seconds. There's no cover story. It's just Luffy fishing, but a giant bird wanting to eat his meat. Or a piece of bread. I think that's a piece of bread. Oh, but first SPS. Oopsies. How are you, Mr. Oda? You must really love summer since you like to be naked. Yes. I love to walk around in the nude in the summer. I soak in the tub, then go outside naked. I get a lot of looks from the girls' softball team as they jog along the riverbank. Yay, it's summer, I call out. Are you crazy? I get arrested. I have a question, Oda-sensei. I understand that long ago in Britain, noblemen were addressed as Sir. Is that where you got the Sir in Sir Crocodile? Sir. Sure. On page 184 of volume 24, Usopp is making repairs to the ship, and he hits his middle finger with the hammer. So why is his index finger swollen in the next panel? That's the balloon principle, for example. That's the balloon principle. For example, if you have a long balloon and you squeeze it at one end, the other end suddenly gets bigger. Similarly, when Usopp hit the middle finger, his index finger swelled up. Get it? That's so funny. So Oda was naked for this interview. Hopefully it was over the phone. Start time is 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 25 seconds. All right. First, I'm going to tell you all I know about Sky Island. This is all hearsay, mind you. It's up to you if you believe it or not. Okay, I believe it. Wait till you hear it. And Zoro is sleeping in the background. I love how trusting Luffy is. And look at little Chopper. Oh, guys, I want a little Chopper doll, but a door stopper. So the body has to be that sand, you know? That would be adorable. Sometimes a mysterious phenomenon occurs in the seas around here. In the middle of the day, night suddenly falls on one part of the sea. Yeah, we know! We saw it! Yeah, it got dark and then some monster showed up. You mean the giants? Their origin is a mystery too, but let's leave that for now. The sudden night is actually the shadow of a dense mass of clouds. You mean cumulonimbus clouds? But they can't create total darkness. You're not too smart, mister. When there are lots of clouds, it's called cloudy, not night. Yeah, cloudy. Cloudy. Shut up and listen. Imperiocumulus, the emperor cloud. Oops. Sorry, my table is too low. It's the table's fault. That's the phenomenon. That is what the phenomenon is called. It's a dense mass of clouds high in the sky. There are no currents or condensation within it. And when it appears, it blots out the sun. Day suddenly turns to night. According to one theory, the emperor cloud has remained unchanged for thousands of years, like a petrified cloud that floats in the sky. A dense cloud formation that doesn't produce rain? That's ridiculous. Believe what you will, I'm only telling you what I heard. So it's a mystery cloud, huh? Correct. It remains unexplained to this day. Luffy, you're so smart! But if a sky island does exist, that's almost certainly where you'll find it. I get it. Okay, let's get on top of that cloud. Hey, Zulu, wake up! Is it morning? Okay, you guys, let's go. Full speed to the clouds. Thanks a lot, mister. How many times do I have to tell you? We don't know how to get there yet. Now, here's the important part. Know this. You will be risking your lives. We're already half dead. Because Nami punched them in the face. The knock upstream is deadly and you'll have to let it carry you up to the sky. So you're saying it's an ocean current that can throw a ship into the air, right? I get it. We just have to get thrown up into the clouds. By an ocean current? Whee! And then Chopper has that shiny face of like... But won't it just smash us against the ocean? That's what I heard in Mocktown. That's what usually happens. The critical thing is, it may sound easy enough. Wait, no. Timing. That's what usually happens. Full stop. The critical thing is timing. It may sound easy enough, but it's a very violent experience. To be hurled aloft by the knock upstream is catastrophic. Normally, it's something to be avoided at all costs. But why does this ocean current shoot upward? We've never even heard of this thing before. This monstrous oceanic current is mostly based on speculation. No one has been foolish enough to research it themselves. The theory is this. There is an enormous cavity deep beneath the sea. As cool seawater flows into it, geothermal heat from below creates enormous pressure and steam, resulting in a massive eruption. This titanic explosion propels the seawater skyward in a torrent. For approximately 1 minute, the sea rises high into the air. It rises for a whole minute? So where can we find this current? The coordinates change each time, but it happens 5 times a month. We'll be blown to smithereens. But it's impossible to truly describe such a majestic natural phenomenon in mere words. But that means that unless this unpredictable current erupted right under the drifting cloud mass, yes, it would be all for nothing. Your ship would be flung into the sky and come crashing down into the sea, killing everyone aboard. And even if you manage... Sorry, I needed to yawn. And come crashing down into the sea, killing everyone aboard. And even if you manage to get atop the Emperor Cloud, you'll still come crashing down if Skypia doesn't exist up there. Alright, let's forget Skypia. Too bad, Luffy. This is impossible. Ha ha ha. After all, only a lucky guy would have any chance of making it. We'll be fine. Let's go. Fine? How can you take things so lightly? Look at the merry-go. She's a wreck. That current will smash her into kindling. He's right. That ship would never make it, even if it were brand new. What? Speed, gravity, intensity. The explosion of water would tear her to pieces. See? Get it? It's hopeless. But don't worry, your ship can be reinforced. I'll have Mashira and Shoujo help you. Yeah, leave it to us. We're counting on you. How do you say that? Tanomu? Why'd they have to butt in? Do you understand what this means? We can only stay on this island for 1 more day. Any longer than that, and the log post will lock onto the next island. Lock on! Sorry, made me think of the song from Sogeking. Right? See, we don't have time. Hey, mister, I don't know if you can answer this question, but when will the knock upstream and the Emperor Cloud come together next? In a few days? A few months? Years? Tomorrow at noon. If you're going to try it, be ready. So we'll be in time? Sorry, I don't know how to go. No one screams, ack! Bye, Juno. What? I mean, what? No, wait. No, how do you say this? What? Well, if you're that afraid, forget it. You're lying! Huh? The coincidence is too incredible. We just met you today, and why are you being so helpful anyway? And besides, hey, Usopp, you shut up. You're telling me that the only time we can go to the legendary Sky Island is tomorrow, and you're even willing to fix the ship and help us get there? This is all way too convenient. What's your game? You're a descendant of Noland the liar. I don't trust you. Keep knocking the table, but that time it was my chair. Boss, food's ready. We're in for a treat today. This guy's amazing. It's so delicious. I told you, I'm a first-class cook. Nami Chwan, it's time to eat. Come on, put him up. Whenever the daytime night is spotted in Mashida's territory, the Emperor Cloud appears the next day in the southern sky. Looking at the rotation of the monthly explosions, the knock-up stream is bound to erupt tomorrow, and it will occur just south of here. It's not a certainty, but the odds are good. I'm glad I got to meet you fools. Now let's eat. You can rest here today. Comrades. Aww. Cricket is such a nice guy. Hee hee hee. Time to eat. Hurry, Usopp. Yeah, hurry up. Chopper, call Robin. Okay. Looks like this is our one chance. We'll have to go for it. But ultimately, it all depends on luck. Wait, who said it yesterday? Guy Sensei? No. Kakashi Sensei. Luck is part of your strength. Nami, am I just a pitiful coward? Yep, and an idiot too. But I understand how you feel. Now go apologize. I'm sorry, mister! Wow! Ugh, you're getting snot on me. Har. Ah, this is good grog. Eat up, there's a course of mackerel coming. Grr. Gotcha, salvage monkey. Tabasco bomb. Kiki, you long-nosed buffoon. That's so funny. It's always nice to see them like just chilling, having drinks, eating delicious food, talking to new friends. Such a nice thing to see. Hey, pretty lady, come sit over here. Hey, keep your paws off Nami. Wow, you can really drink. I'm just getting started. And the Robin is sitting, smiling while she's looking at everyone, drinking her drink, reading the log. I saw the gold in the skull's right eye. Gold? Ka-ching! That tear-blotted sentence was the last thing Noland wrote on the day he was executed. After all this time on Jaya, I still don't know what it means. Ooh, wait, let's write it down, because I know what it means. I saw the gold in the skull's right eye. I saw the gold in the skull's right eye. The last thing Noland wrote before his execution. Oh, it's so sad to think how actually both Noland and Kalgara died. After everything they went through. Sometimes life just isn't fair. But thankfully, you know, they're just fictional. But I mean, in real life, sometimes shit like that happens too. And yet, that's why it's so important not to forget those people. Because even though they met a terrible end, we can still learn from what they went through and how they grew together, you know? Here's a question, and I'm not super smart on this topic, so if I'm saying it wrong, please share with me how you think I could say it better. Noland discovering, not being the first to discover, but he was the first person from his country to find the island that Calgara and them lived on. Wouldn't him teaching them about medicine and why human sacrifice isn't necessary, and wouldn't the stuff that, I mean, he also learned a lot from them, so it's like a give and take, which truly is what happened a long time ago in South Africa at the very beginning. Well, not the very beginning, but the very beginning of some stuff. Isn't that similar to colonialism? Let me Google what it actually means. Maybe colonialism definition. The policy of practice of acquiring full or, oh no, it has to do with political control. Oh no, okay. Occupying it with settlers and exploiting it economically. Okay, so colonialism definitely has a negative connotation. But then what would you call what Noland did? You know, meeting a new community, different people, different culture, but they both learned from each other, and they both left each other better people, didn't they? A Blackblade says, kind of, it's more about assimilation. I see here globalization. Could it be globalization is the process of interaction and integration among people, companies, and governments worldwide? Could it be like the start of globalization? Like one person from one island from somewhere in the world, Norland, meeting another person from another culture, another country, island, Calgara, and they ended up, luckily, learning from each other, growing into better people. Both, how do we say, both, what's the word? Benefiting from what the other has to teach them. Neither trying to force their opinion on the other, but misunderstandings happen, like the trees that were affecting their health. So they took down the trees, but then it was actually bad for them because the trees symbolized their ancestors. So you know, stuff like that happens when cultures come together. Cultural exchange would be my wording. That feels too light though, because they didn't just learn a little bit about each other's culture. They changed fundamentally their beliefs. Like they were used to human sacrifice to solve their problems, and Calgara taught them about medicine. It's not just about their culture. That was knowledge that was invaluable to saving people's lives. For me, that seems more than just cultural exchange. It literally feels like cultural assimilation, or not just, I think just assimilation, because I think medicine to some extent transcends culture. You know, it's not just about culture, it's about, I don't know, yeah. The problem with how Noland did it, he came across as a superior, changing a savage group. Some would say this is racist in itself. I think I understand that, but I think the situation he came into was literally a man trying to sacrifice a young girl. I'm sorry, but if I walked into a situation where someone was trying to kill a girl, an innocent girl, trying to throw her into the belly of a beast, I would be angry too. I'd come out knowing, like Noland said, relying on stuff like that is insulting to the people that went out and explored and learned that you don't need to sacrifice a person's life to help your community. And so I don't see him as a racist. I don't think it had anything to do with, it was just the situation he came into was literally a life or death situation. And when it's a life or death situation, you can't worry about being politically correct. That girl was going to die. If he had come to that island 1 hour later, she would have died. You know what I'm saying? So he saved a life. And in the end, they both, he didn't see them as less than human. He saw them as you're sacrificing your people when you don't need to. In front of him. It's not like he heard about them sacrificing. He saw it almost happen right there in front of his eyes. He had to protect her in that moment. Doesn't that seem in that situation like I don't think he saw himself as superior. I think he just had a lot of respect for what the people before him that went out and found out about medicine and so that you don't need to rely on human sacrifice. I think he had a lot of respect for those people and that knowledge and how valuable knowledge is. And so he wanted them to just stop killing your people and let me help you. You know what I'm saying? Because we were all at one point in our progress as humans, you know, reliant on things like magic and sacrifice and God. I mean, still people pray to God when to a huge extent, more often than not, we can solve our own problems instead of, I'm not saying prayer and stuff doesn't help at all. I'm just saying sometimes people pray for things that they can actually fix themselves. And I don't think in Noland's case, I don't think it had anything to do with him seeing himself as superior. It's just that he values human life and he didn't think it needed to be sacrificed when medicine exists, when people risk their lives to go out into the world, learn about medicine, and you know what I'm saying? If they weren't willing to talk, one group would have died, which is why I love these characters so much, because in the end they did talk and they did sort it out, and that is what I love so much. Syncretism is the combining of different beliefs while blending practices of various schools of thought. Syncretism involves the merging or assimilation of several originally discrete traditions, especially in theology and mythology of religion, thus asserting an underlying unity and allowing for an inclusive approach to each other's faith. Yes, that seems, it's not just faith, but can be, we can expand it to also include like medicine and stuff, I guess, because I don't really think medicine is part of Noland's culture specifically, but you know, they learn from each other and like you said, integrated various beliefs, not just about faith. It worked out better in the story because they were willing to talk. Don't forget that Kalgara tried to kill him for interrupting their ritual. I know, which is why I was so mad at Kalgara in the first place, because you can't help but be mad at someone who isn't willing to listen and talk. And that's why I want to read my Twitter bio. I mean, not my Twitter bio, my Twitter header again. Peace does not mean an absence of conflicts. Differences will always be there. Peace means solving these differences through peaceful means, through dialogue, education, knowledge, and humane ways. Because we all come from different countries. We all have different plants, animals, blah, blah, blah. And so one country might value certain principles, certain schools of thought, and they might progress there. Whereas another country would value something else and they would be further along there. And when you come together, you can both learn from each other. And if you're willing to talk and grow, then yeah, you can syncretism. One Piece showed both sides, Kalgara and Noland, and the bad side, Wiper versus Enel. Enel came in as a conqueror, Noland came in as an explorer. I honestly don't see those two as parallels. I understand what you're saying, but it's very difficult for me to see Enel and Noland as parallel characters, as if they were meant to symbolize different things. Or similar things in two extremes or something. Enel was just the dictator. Noland didn't want to at all. I get what you're saying there, but it's a very weird comparison to me. Wiper and Gunfall would be more... because Gunfall at some point was trying to make a peace treaty with the leader or the chief of the Wiper's village or people, and they were trying to come together to syncretism. I don't know what's the verb for that. Syncretize. I see them more as a Gunfall and Wiper more, maybe. I don't know. But I love this arc so much, so I'm so excited to read more. But yeah. That tear-blotted sentence was the last thing Noland wrote on the day he was executed. Glug, glug, glug. After all this time on Jaya, I still don't know what it means. The right eye of the skull, was that the name of the lost city, or an omen of death? The remaining blank pages don't offer any explanations. That's why we dive. We see our dreams at the bottom of the sea. That's right. Oofkiki. Yahoo! We're gonna fly. We're gonna fly to the sky. Yeah. It's getting dark, but I see it. Bellamy, get ready to land. Dream-seeking fools don't deserve gold bullion. Oh, fuck. I hated this part. I hated it. Chapter 230. Pursue the South Bird. Pursue the South Bird. I need to quickly use the ladies' room, so I'll be right back. A question I leave you with is, do you like Bellamy's voice actor? He also voices Knuckle from Hunter x Hunter, and yeah, do you like him? Because I won't be long. I'll be quick. This is not the best freaking belt for, because look, it doesn't have holes. You can just open up a little. So it's like you have to find a place where you want to put it, and you have to kind of wiggle it through. And then squeeze it through that thing because it's kind of small. It's not the easiest belt to use. Let's see. Matty likes his VA. Dark Shadow likes his VA. Elizabeth likes his VA. Is there anyone who doesn't like his voice actor? Oh god, that was my whole forehead. Isn't he also Kaiman in Dorohedoro? Is he? I don't think so. I know why I don't wear belts. I like belts because it's like, it's a girl thing, it's an accessory, so it looks like I tried to like put together an outfit. Whereas if I don't wear a belt, it just seems like not as well put together. I'm kind of hungry. I don't know what video Hunk was watching, but I can hear it. He is? I feel like I should have remembered that. We definitely looked up the VAs. I like his VA. I think he recorded this around 2006 and he did Hunter x Hunter around 2012. I heard him as Bellamy before I heard him as Knuckle. But it's funny because he's such a bad character in One Piece, where he's such a nice guy in in Hunter x Hunter. Sorry, I'm just using some Zero Stress Mist. Balancing and calming mist made with soothing rooibos and calming essential oils. He's also a JoJo's boy. Oh yes, he's a JoJo's boy, yes. I like his VA. I think I already read that. Okay, so Pursue the Southbird, chapter 230. Start time is 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 10 seconds. I find it very interesting that some people really need belts so their trousers won't slide down. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to buy fitting clothes. Probably. Yeah, I've never needed a belt. No, I have. Yeah. I don't know why. I get what you're saying. But I guess it's... For me, it's more an accessory. Welcome back, Juno. Okay, I was born with Hank Hill's ass. What? What is Hank Hill? Okay, wait. New start time. 48 minutes in. 1 hour and 48 minutes. Good night, Shawnee. Pursue the Southbird. May 21. 1122 arrived on Jaya. Noland! When we got to the island, we heard the strange cries of a jungle bird and the tolling of a tolling? How do I say that? Of a giant bell. The sound that giant bell of pure gold made resonated and resonated, as if to celebrate the untold riches of the ancient city. Throughout these vast seas, over countless generations, a great civilization blossomed. Those of us whose lives span but a few decades and think we know everything are left speechless. Ooh. Those of us whose lives span but a few decades and think we know everything are left speechless. I was just thinking about that, how the reason I got so frustrated and angry at Calgara was because I just get frustrated with people that think they know everything or about something and they're not willing to be wrong. You know, maybe things were like that back then, but maybe they don't need to be like that now. One beautiful example I have of that is a story about a little girl who asks her mom, why do you cut off the end of the roast before you put it in the oven? And the mom says, I don't know. My mother always did it that way and she taught me and now I'm doing it. And then she went to her grandmother and asked her grandmother, Grandma, why do you always cut the roast off? Like, does it make it more juicy? Is that piece bad for you? Why did you do that? And her mom and the grandmother said, I don't know. I always did it because my mother did it. And then she goes to her great-grandmother and she asks, Great-grandmother, why do you always cut off the end of the roast before you put it before you cook the meal? And then the great-grandmother says, well, in my time, we were quite poor and my oven was very small. So I had to cut off the side of the roast because otherwise it wouldn't fit into the oven. So Katie is old because she likes repeating the story. No, it's relevant now. It's relevant in many different cases. So like, it was a necessary rule, a necessary belief in certain times, but as generations pass, we all grow. So that doesn't mean that always the same things, you don't always have to do things the same way. Times change and you need to be open to realizing that there are different ways of doing things. And so I get frustrated with people that hold on to their way of life. I can understand why they want to, it's relatable, but not to the point where it damages others' lives, So Anime Ba-chan, Anime Oba-chan, just nod and smile, Matty. Not Oba-chan. Anyway, those of us whose lives span but a few decades and think we know everything are left speechless. The sound of the bell stopped us in our tracks. Noland, you are so amazing! Oh, a huge bell of pure gold. I think you actually like Noland. Ha 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 ha. Ookiki! Look at this. Whoa, a bell of pure gold. It doesn't look that giant to me. I didn't say it was that bell. That's a bell shaped... Oh, that's a bell-shaped ingot. I found 3 of them on the ocean floor. Then there really is a city of gold. No, that doesn't prove anything. An amount this small can crop up in any ruins. What's an ingot? Still, it does prove that there was a civilization in this region once. Ingots are created as a weight standard. They are used for trading. And that strange bird that's mentioned in the passage. Hey, Mashira. Right. Wow, there's more. And this is the last one. Ha ha, not much to show for 10 years of diving. Oh, it's beautiful. What is it? A penguin? Bells of pure gold and a bird. I wonder if those were the symbols of ancient Jaya. Can't know for sure. I think it was once part of a statue. This is a southbird. They are still found on this island. Does it have a strange cry? Yes, just like it's mentioned in the ship's log. Speaking of the southbird, the ancient mariners wrote of it. Blast! What? What's wrong? This is bad. You have to go into the jungle. Go south. Huh? What are you saying, mister? Are you crazy? You've got to catch one of these birds. Hurry. Why? How come? Listen carefully. The knock-up stream is located directly south of here. But how will you get there? Can't we just go straight? This is the Grand Line. Once you're out to sea, there's no way to know your directions. I get it. The log post can only guide us to an island. It's no good for finding a patch of water. And our compass won't work here. So how will we know if we're heading south? You'll have to rely on the south bird. Some animals have an innate sense of direction. Right, I've heard of that, like pigeons and salmon. Hey, Zulu, you're worse than an animal. Ha 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 ha. You should talk. The south bird is the best of them all. No matter where it is on land or sea, its instincts always show it the right direction. You've got to get one. You'll never get to Sky Island without it. What? Why didn't you tell us this sooner? It's the middle of the night. You expect us to go off into the jungle now? Quit whining. There's no time. We'll get to work on your ship right now. We shouldn't have been partying in the first place. It's a bit too late to be saying that now. Now listen. You need to find a southbird before sunrise. Do not fail. Whoa, it's pitch dark. Don't hang on to me. I'm so full, I can't walk. Let's get this bird quick and get back to drinking. How did we end up here? Jeez, why didn't he have us do this before it got dark? Where is this bird? If I knew that, we wouldn't be wandering around in this jungle. The only clue is its weird cry. It looks just like that bird of gold. Does a bird that looks like that really exist? And what kind of weird cry? That's too vague. The guy said we'd know it when we heard it. I don't remember how it makes. Can someone send me a clip, or maybe I can Google a clip? Jaya, South Bird Weird Call. South Bird Weird Call. One Piece. Now it's just giving me other birds. Real birds. Okay, wait. Dio! Is it like that? Dio! Yeah, it's like that. Dio! Yeah, it's like that. Okay. Dio! But very ominous. I remember it sounding ominous. Whoa, that is a weird cry. All right, let's get it. We have 3 nets. We'll split into 3 teams. Okay, let's smash that bird. Yeah, no, we have to catch that bird. Team number 1, Sanji, Usopp, and Nami. Don't worry, Nami. Whatever happens, I'll protect you. What about me, Sanji? Let's just find this bird and get out of here. You're on your own, Usopp. Quit being such a wimp. Man up! He didn't say that, but I say that. Let's listen for that cry again. Dio. Hey, that's it. Dio. Here, birdie, birdie. Why you? Dio. So that was Usopp making the noise. What's your pronunciation, or this will be a JoJo's reference. Dio. Hey, that's pretty cool, Nami. Where did you find it? What? Spider! What? It's only a spider. I hate spiders. Throw it away. Drop it, Usopp. It's probably poisonous. Ah! They're falling from the trees. No! Eek! I can't stand it. It's probably a type of tarantula. Don't worry. They won't bite you if you don't scare them. I used to play Spider War when I was a kid. Well, I'm not into creepy crawlers. No thanks. Man up, Sanji. Man up. Matthew, are you collabing with Sotos and his exposed video? Or are you making your own now? Me neither. Absolutely no way. I hate them. Toss it far away. Hurry. Huh? But I guess you guys don't mind all the moths and centipedes over there then. I hate moths and centipedes too. Ah! Team 2, Zolo and the Robin. I thought for a while they make a nice ship, but then Frankie came along and... Ignore it. Thud. A centipede. Wow, it's huge. You don't have to kill them. Poor things. Don't lecture me. It's their own fault for challenging me. Anyway, I still don't trust you. Don't you forget that. But what? That's the path we just came from. Dio. That cry. This way. Watch out. It's slippery here. I don't know how to make this Zoro face. Hey, wait up. Splat. Whoa. Team number 3, Luffy and Chopper. I got it! Look, Chopper, an Atlas beetle. Atlas? Yeah, the Atlas and the Hercules are treasured all over the world. They are? Are they as valuable as the One Piece? That's a tough one. Luffy, there's something here too. It's a stag beetle. Catch it! Geo. No, it's flying away. Catch it. Don't let it get away. What a huge spider. It's in the way. Kick it. Thud. Now that we're talking about bugs and animals and stuff, this is not relevant to this part of One Piece, but it's still from One Piece, and it's now something that I thought about. People, you guys know my most recent reaction that I posted to One Piece was the part of me seeing Boa kick the cat. And I go into more detail later in my reactions. And I explain, like, I don't just dislike her because she kicked the cat, but yeah, kicking cats out of your way just because they're in the way, obviously that's not the kind of person I like. And especially since I'm a cat fan, it does make me dislike her, but it's not the only reason I dislike her. But the amount of comments that I get of people saying, Luffy kills a boar and you don't bat an eyelash, but she kicks a cat and suddenly blah 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 blah. I'm like, excuse me, but eating to survive, killing an animal to survive, like not torturing it, killing it to eat, lions eat deer is part of life. But animal abuse is completely different. It's not the same thing. You can't, even if you like Boa and you don't care if she kicks cats, whatever, or even if, you know, you don't think about her character that deeply and you just see it as some, this is the kind of person that she is, a funny thing. It doesn't matter. But you can't use that argument against me disliking her for that. Well, one reason. It's not the only reason, but you know what I'm saying? To be fair, the boar attacked Luffy first. The boar was going to eat Luffy, but Luffy ate him first. And like, even if Luffy eats more than he technically needs to, because someone argued that, you know, eating what you need is different from eating like a lot, and overindulging or whatever. But you don't know how much Luffy needs to eat. He saves countries based on his strengths and eating meat, and he can heal a freaking stab through his middle part because he ate some meat. Like, I'm sorry, but you can't tell me how much Luffy needs to eat. People come up with the weirdest arguments to defend their favorite characters. I'm sorry, but... Exactly. She should have eaten the cat. If your culture eats cats, I really can't say anything about it. If they don't torture the cats, if you breed the cats to be eaten and you don't torture them, even as much as I love cats, I can't say anything against it because I eat chicken. But Boa doesn't eat the cat. She kicks it. That's the kind of person that she is. And I don't have to like a person like that. It's not the only reason I dislike her, but it's one of the reasons. So, good night, Tiago. This is a YouTube video. I'm not gonna chicken right now. Okay. A beehive! Run! Ah! Oh, this looks like I look when I play Animal Crossing and I get stung by wasps. We look like that, right? Right, Dark Shadow? Happens to me a lot. That's why now I shake trees with a net in my hand so that I can try and catch it. But still sometimes I don't catch it and then they sting me. What's going on in this jungle? Huh? Luffy, look! A bird? It's the bird. He's the one that dropped the beehive. Joe, how do I laugh like a bird? Joe. Huh? What did it say? Whoever invades this jungle will die. Hey, don't make us mad. It's not nice to show up in the middle of the night demanding gold. Ukiki, beat it. Ha ha ha, so you're his bodyguards, eh? I remember a pirate named Cricket. I heard the sad story of the Mont Blanc family in town. I was moved to tears. It sounds like more. I'm not gonna talk like that. It's so much more rewarding to steal someone's treasure when they've suffered a lot to get it in the first place. Want to know what people call me? The hyena. SBS time. Reader. Hello. Pleased to meet you. Oda Sensei. Nami uses the tornado tempo feature of her climber baton a lot. But what does tempo mean? Please tell me. Tempo means weather in Italian. Tempo. I like the way that sounds. Something's on my lip. I think my lip ice is like accumulating or something. Mr. 3 has devil fruit power, so how come in volume 19, page 189, panel 3, he's floating in the water? I got a lot of inquiries about this one. There were lots of guesses too. However, you're all wrong. There's a good reason for this. There just happened to be a big piece of floating wood under Mr. 3's body. Mr. 3 was floating on top of it. Anyway, on average, the buoyancy of a human is about 3 splays. A sumo wrestler is about 5 splays. But that huge piece of wood was especially magnificent and had a record buoyancy of 13 splays. That's according to Flotus Stretchington. Hello, Oda Sensei. I'll come right to the point. Did you get the name Bellamy the Hyena from the English pirate Samuel Black Sam Bellamy? That's right. Bellamy was a notorious and very talkative pirate, but maybe he was more like a lion than a hyena because he loved an audience. Chapter 231, Bellamy the Hyena. How funny would it be for Katie to have interrupt the video because she had a cat hairball? Bellamy the Hyena. A lot of pirates and marines are named from real characters. Yeah, I've definitely heard about that. Zoro is he named after a pirate or something? Or is he named from that Zoro character? Wasn't Alvida also named after a real person? And Mihawk? I don't know, but a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of pirate characters in the story, yeah. I didn't know about marines though. I wasn't aware that there were marines named after real people. Yeah. I'm gonna ask Hanku to bring me water. Oh wait, I still have some green tea left. All this reading. Damn. Still think Brooke was modeled after Howard Stern. Let's see. Howard Stern. Oh, yeah, I can see that based on... Look, definitely. That's a possibility. Bushy hair. Black clothes. Sunglasses. I can see that. Wasn't a musician, but was a DJ and tall as hell. Howard Stern tall. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't he look like Brooke next to a girl and then he whispers to her, "Can I see your panties, please?" He definitely seems taller than your average guy. Whoa. That looks like Brooke. Plus Howard is a skeleton. Is he dead? You said it in dub and I cringed. Pantsu, misete kudasai. I don't know if I said it in English because I didn't really know how to say it in. Yeah, he does seem very tall. That's a very strong possibility, it seems. No, but he's skinny. Skinny. Oh, a very skinny person. I thought you were making a joke about him being dead. I was like, oof. Okay, Bellamy the hyena. Let's see. Start time for the chapter is 2 hours, 10 minutes. I haven't done a manga video longer than 2 hours in a while. Let me quickly see here. Playlists. One Piece manga. 2 hours, 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 50 minutes, 1 hour 40 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes. So then it was all 1 hour. Here's a 2 hour one, 2 hour 24 minutes, 2 hour 11 minutes, 2 hour 13 minutes. What's my longest one? This might end up being my longest one. Oh, 2 hour 47 minutes over there. I don't think we're going to pass that today. Chapter 157 to 163. Ooh, 2 hours 55 minutes. 178 to 184. This is the last time we passed 2 hours was the third to last video ago. Some of those were 7 chapters, right? Oh yeah, recently, yeah. 157, 158, 159. 160, 162, 163. So that one's 6 chapters, but at 2 hours and 47 minutes. So still a lot. Wasn't Brooke inspired by the guitarist Slash though? Let's see. I'll say in my opinion who he looks more like. Slash guitarist. Maybe a little bit of both. I see the hat. And I mean, he's a musician, but not a violinist. So maybe a little bit of both. But I feel like more the other guy, when I saw him, I was like, yes. With him, I'm like, yeah, the hat. And I guess the hair also a little bit because it's curly. But the other guy's hair was like curly and round. You see, like round. But anywho, Bellamy the hyena for the 5th time. 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 50 seconds. Wow! Here they come, duck. Whoosh! Shuck! Da doom! Chee chee chee! A giant praying mantis? This is too much! What kind of jungle is this? Act the net! Dio! Smirk. It's that bird! What? The south bird is giving orders to the bugs. But why would a bird give orders to the bugs? Dio! Dio! I hear it. Where is it coming from? Hold it. I hear something else. What's that? A rock? It's coming this way. Are they dung balls from a dung beetle? No, they're insects. Ladybugs. Ladybugs. Giant ladybugs. They're huge. Ow. Ack. Dio. There's no end to this. Now an army of grasshoppers is attacking us. Out of my way. Whack. I remember this in the anime. It was so funny. Donk, donk. You think you can beat me, huh? I heard the bird just now. A slug! Get some salt! Salt! Sanji, do a summer salt kick. Right. Are you nuts? Dio! running away. Bring it on. Better not, Luffy. Hornets have a nasty sting. Fireflies. Oh, pretty. No, cockroaches. Ah, pigs. Geo. Ah. I got the theory that Oda's going to draw himself into the manga as the last guardian of the One Piece. Maybe. That would be cool. Oh, Angus said before that, Oda's like a pop cultural vacuum cleaner. He's sucking everything in. Yeah, well, I mean, it's true, like, for example, you can't dream about a face you've never seen. So, on some level, I guess that's true. Like, you can't draw something that you've never seen. I don't think it's possible. So, when we're drawing, you have to rely on references from your own mind. So, look at this. It's beautiful. Ha! You're not worthy to touch that. Worthy? Does this make us worthy? Whoop! Big chop! Ookie! Oh, that was not dramatic enough. I can't do uki in a dramatic way, sorry. That fool! Mashira! Ha ha ha! We're stronger than you guys. That makes us worthy of your treasure. Stand aside, boss. Havoc sonar! Woo! Ah! Why you... Wait, Sarkis. I'll fix that ape. Not that again. The power of the boing boing fruit. Run! Shoujo! I don't know. How did I do it last time? I feel like it was better. I don't know. But he does do this with his pinky. It looks like I'm drinking, but I'm actually holding a mic. Like, holding a mic and then the pinky, you see? Kella used Sonic Screech. It was super effective on my ears. Spring Snipe! Boing! Ba-bump! Oh, shame. Look at Shoujo's face. Oh, Shoujo. Crack. Boom. Let's go. Load up the gold. Boss, we found gold. It's a bell-shaped ingot. See? Just like in the ship's log. There's the part about the bell right there. Grow up, old man. Ha ha ha. Noland's El Dorado was a fantasy. If you want to become a pirate of the new age, you'd better learn that dreams never come true. Ha ha ha. El Dorado exists. Ookiki, the city of gold. Ha ha ha. Settle down. You'll wreck the house. Quick question here. Their boat. That's Bellamy's symbol, right? I'd love to hear Hanku's interpretation of the weird noises from this room without context. You should ask him in his stream one time. What's the funniest sound you've ever heard coming from Katie's stream room? Oh god. My back is killing me. I don't know. I'm probably not sitting right. Wait. Sounding like an old person, but sitting like this for freaking, how long has it been? 5 hours. It's like it's killing me. Did Hanku get his chair? No, it hasn't been delivered yet. It's South Africa, Matty. Do you think it's going to be delivered that fast? We do see later in this chapter that, oopsies. We see later in this chapter that, or this arc or part or whatever in the anime, we see that Bellamy and Doflamingo are linked somehow. Boss, whatever. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure but in Shalbondi later, I saw the same symbol, and I was like, what's this? But now I think it's the same symbol. So and I remember thinking, is that his brand? Is that just what? But now I know what it is. Oops. Hold up. Hold on, pup. A spineless whelp that beats people's dreams out of them has no right to call himself a pirate. What did you say? It's no use. We didn't even get a feather from that bird. We saw one, but those bugs wouldn't let us get near it. Shape up, you guys. There are 7 of us, and we got nothing. You shape up, knucklehead. I'm spent. I can't run another step. Gio! He's saying, haha, you can't catch me. Why does it look like that's not Chopper? It looks like a plant saying that. What? Is he taunting us? I'll shoot you down. Gio? Smack! Whap! Plump. As long as I can see it. Oh. You are caught. Diamond Head Guy, Mashira, Shoujo. Who did this to them? Hey, help me. Okay. And then they pull Shoujo out of the water. Look, the merry-go. What the? Who would do such a thing? Sorry. Hey, mister, are you okay? I'm sorry. We failed. We couldn't stop them. But there's still time before sunrise. We can fix the ship and... Hold it, mister. Just tell us what happened. It doesn't matter. It's nothing. Nothing happened. You got the Southbird. Well done. Luffy! The gold ingots! They're gone! Yes, gone, but it doesn't matter. Forget about them. You have to... How can you say that? You dived for 10... You dived. Not died. You dived for 10 years to find that gold. You almost killed yourself for it. Quiet. It doesn't matter. That's our problem. Listen. If the entire Monkey Mountain Allied force gets to work preparing your ship, you can still make it. We'll have it ready by morning. You people get ready to sail. I will not fail. You're going up to the sky. Mister. Now you'd better... Luffy. That's Bellamy's mark. Ooh, Bellamy's mark. Ooh, but we know it's not. These read-alongs give me so many smiles. I'm glad, Matty. Did I just call you Mlatty or did I say Matty? I feel like I said Mlatty. Why? Did I say that? Oh, okay. I must have... I don't know what... Maybe something... I don't know what... Mlatty... I don't know why I thought that. That's Bellamy's mark. Need help? No, I can handle them. No way, Luffy. Don't even think about doing anything crazy. We have to sail in just 3 hours. If I follow the coast, I'll come to that town, right? Yes. Kid, where are you going? Don't do anything rash. You don't know who you're dealing with. If you want to stop him, you'll have to use this. I'll be back by sunrise. Fuck! Why did I already crack my fingers today? That would have been such a great moment if all my fingers just went... Damn it. Sometimes my fingers do that, but then it's only if I haven't cracked it for a while. But anyway, that's an awesome moment. I'll be back before sunrise. Doom. So, there we go. 5 chapters. And the next chapter is the name of the of the volume. So the next chapter is called The 100 Million Berry Man, which is the name of the volume. So that's going to be a really great place to start off next week. You do something I've never seen anyone do. You crack the joints. Oh yeah, like but something that Hanku can do is crack his back and his neck, and I can't do that. Sometimes if I do this side, it works with like one click, but not that side. Dun 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 dun. What's that? Dun 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 dun. Cracking is somewhat hard, but I can pop my thumb joint in and out all I want. Matty, are you just like used to these cracking, but not to these parts? Anyway, those were 5 fantastic chapters and some fantastic discussions. Thank you guys for being part of that. I'm gonna finish the video here. The next read along will be next week Sunday. So it will be the 18th of October. Hanku? Jeez, don't do that. You creeped closer. And then I was like, so yeah. I wanted to ask you something. No, you're gonna sleep now. What time's your brother coming tomorrow?
I'm gonna phone him now and find out.
Okay, he's working now, right?
Yeah, he gets off work 5:30 or 6 or something, then he's going home and
to
getting
shower.
his stuff.
So let's say 6:30 he finishes work. 7:30.
He could be here by 9
or 10, yeah. So you're gonna have to sleep now so you can get up then.
Yes.
Please remember, can you guys go to the shop and buy fruits and stuff to eat?
Yeah.
We don't have fruits. Hanku needs to get his revenge for your scare last time. No, Hanku has scared me thousands of times without even trying. I wonder if I want one of those stickers. My back is killing me from sitting upright.
Because you
Look how good these shoes look though.
I know.
Fancy. Anyway, sleep tight.
You have to sit on that.
Oh, by the way, I took off Tuesday, so not tomorrow, Tuesday, which is much better.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
So, you're going golfing the afternoon, right?
See.
Wait, let me just finish the video.
Okay.
To everyone on YouTube, thank you so much for reading along. I hope you enjoyed the discussions, and please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. I will see you next week Sunday. If you want to read along live, please pop into the Twitch stream on the 18th of October. It usually starts around midnight, South African Standard Time. Okay, bye.